Welcome back to Focus on South Texas. A change is coming to classrooms across the state of Texas. Cell phones and electronic devices will be banned this school year. Navigating technology and social media for children, well, that can be a challenge, but there is a resource to help. Maas Youth Alternatives offers family counseling, is available to help children and families in crisis. And here to tell us more about mental health and the effects of social media is Chief Development Officer Julie Healy and lead clinician McPheron. Welcome to the show. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. Well, Julie, tell us how Maas is helping children and families here in South Texas.
Well, Maas helps two populations here in San Antonio. Our first population is our residential clients, and that is primarily children who are already in the foster care system or who have aged out or who simply lack stable housing. And so we have 3 residential programs that take care of those children. And then we also serve a lot of clients who live in the community who simply need support with mental health and resources. And so our counseling center is instrumental to our mission in making sure that children in San Antonio thrive.
And Megan, I understand, House Bill 1481 was passed into law and will take effect this school year. So talk to us a little bit about that and why it's important to limit the screen time for our children and our adolescents.
We know that kids are impulsive, especially in adolescence. Their brain isn't developed yet. So there's high links to depression, anxiety, body image issues. When they see things on the phone or the social media, they think it's real. So they want to compare themselves to the things they see on social media.
And I'm sure this is a thing, obviously this is new. This is a new House bill. This is something that's going to be new for the kiddos, new for the parent, new for the school districts. I know that some school districts are already saying now, we're going to wait till school starts for that first school board meeting to kind of discuss it a little further. So there's still a lot of moving parts here.
Right, and parents, like, how am I getting a hold of my kid? Or like, I forgot my homework, how to get a hold of their parent or their child to see what's happening. And so it's just a big change. And how do I communicate with my friends? If they're in a different school, I can just chat with them and they can't be sneaky and hide the phone and they have to pay attention in class.
So a lot of things that, a lot of questions I'm sure that, are still going to need to be answered there. But what are the signs that a child or a teen is spending too much time on their electronic devices? Because even all of us, we'll go out to dinner at a restaurant and we'll sit at a table and,
everyone's on their phone.
Everybody's on their phone. Yeah. But how do you know that a child is spending too much time on a screen?
They might complain about headaches, their eyesight hurts, their eyes hurt, or once they get off, they have that meltdown. And so they're irritable because they want that instant gratification. If you think about it, how often a screen changes. Like that image changes consistently all the time, so our brains don't have time to rest, and so our kids want immediate gratification. So that's going to be harder when they don't have their phones to do that. Like, how can I fix it? Or they use it as an unhealthy coping skill, because a lot of times kids will say, well, I use my phone to calm down. I'm like, but what happens when your phone isn't there? And actually your phone doesn't help you calm down. It just avoids it for a while. So we have to really get coping skills for them to use instead of their phones.
And Megan, what advice do you have for parents who want to start that conversation about cell phone use with their child? Because I know sometimes, parents, they'll try to talk to their child and the child's like, well, you're just being mean. You don't understand.
And you can validate, I understand, but let's have some safety choices. Let's look about the safety of the phone, of social media, of the internet, and how can we give the choice to the parents and to the kids, like have a compromise. Okay, these are the times you can use the phone, and this is what I expect, or I'm going to check your phone. Right, so they know that you're watching, because sometimes kids do stuff, they can be sneaky, and so they have to know that their parent is going to check on them. Not overly check on them and be everywhere with them, but know that, hey, there were parameters, and if you do mess up, then you know what, there's consequences for that as well.
Yeah, and it's because the parents care about them.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
not to be punitive. Yeah. Parents see things differently than kids see. We know at adolescence, kids are all about their friends. And so they want that instant connection with the friend, but at the same time, social media, it's like instant. It's like, well, what happened? They didn't respond. They're checking how many posts they got, how many likes they got. So we know that can affect their self-esteem. Because wait, no one responded. I'm like, it's been 2 seconds. Like, give people some time to do that.
Right.
And all the cyberbullying that can happen. And most of the time, people are more likely to say mean things on social media than they are in person.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, the whole checking, monitoring your child's activity. I know that, police departments all the time are putting those awareness out, because unfortunately there are also predators out there that, do not have a good intention. And I mean, we hear about those arrests all the time where there are suspects that are arrested for online solicitation of a minor. And things like that. So I mean, that's also unfortunately a danger that's lurking out there.
Yeah, they need to have privacy settings,
Private,
right?
yes.
I mean, I have friends whose children will have a YouTube channel and they have thousands of followers, and they're probably not all good followers.
Right.
So,
And you have to know who your friends are. If you don't know who they are in person, then they're not going to be a friend on social media. And those are the kind of rules parents can come up with to help that safety. And it might not be popular, because kids will say, well, so-and-so is doing it, my friend's doing it, but it's what the parent wants, for their safety.
Absolutely. And would you guys have any words of encouragement or advice for parents that are navigating that balance between tech and healthy childhood development, Julie?
well, one, I would say I did used to work in the schools years ago, and for one is model the behavior that you want your child to have, right? It's not only children who are addicted to their phones. So if you don't want your child on their phone all day, then model that behavior so that you're setting the example. And it's also not do as I say, but not as I do. I mean, you want your child to have good habits and be safe, so you need to show them what those good habits look like.
So a lot of modeling and having conversations, that it is hard, and parents and kids are going to push back with their parents. That's adolescence. That's what they do. They want their independence. They want their autonomy. That's age-appropriate development for this age group for high schoolers.
Absolutely. And I think another thing that plays into all of this is probably AI. There's images on AI that are not real. And unfortunately, the teens, well, I want to look like this, or I want to do this, but it's not even, it's AI.
Right.
It's not even real.
Right. And helping kids understand that can be, anything can look good for 30 seconds, but what's behind the screen? How long did it take to make that 30-second reel? And so you don't know what's behind the camera.
And Julie, we're almost out of time here, but where can viewers go to learn more about the services offered at Roy Maas Youth Alternatives? Counseling. You guys offer so many services to help children and families.
Yeah, and it is our honor to do so. The best place to go is our website, and we have a button on there that says Get Help. Okay. There's 3 buttons. It's either Give, Volunteer, or Get Help. So Get Help will take you directly to the counseling center.
I love it. Well, Megan, Julie, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.